Hi everybody, Broken Ebeez here and welcome to today's video. Today's video I just want to address some of the comments that you guys and girls have been posting underneath the video. So I'm going to try and release a video, and then the second video that gets released will be a feedback for you guys and girls on the comments that you've posted on the previous video. So hopefully it justifies your time in posting on the videos, because I am very grateful and your feedback really is very helpful indeed. So I'm going to start this series off with the Do This Now video, and I'm just literally going to go through all the comments. Let me know your experience and feel free to post your questions here. I thank you. And this was the Windows Do This Now video, where I'm basically promoting ZorinOS as an ideal operating system choice to get rid of your Windows and put something else on. So let's go through the comments one by one. I don't know how many there are, there's a few, so thank you everybody for taking the time to post. So this is Chris Russell 9659. Kind sir, thank you very much for your review and recommendation. Post listening to your video and absorbing your review, along with completing a little more research on ZorinOS, along with trying Linux Mint, I plunged into ZorinOS fully today. I literally formatted my SSD containing the ridiculously bloated and intrusive Windows 11, ran Zorin all day on my desktop with and I'm very impressed thus far. The OS is absolutely beautiful. It's silky smooth, it's very fast and snappy with ease of use. In addition, this OS offers a great UI that offers simple tailoring and customization of the OS interface in relation to design and functionality of it. Well, listen Chris, I'm absolutely delighted, and it's people like you that make this YouTube worthwhile. This one comment has made my year, because this is what I've been banging on about. This is a Windows user who's got off the backside and thought enough is enough, downloaded the ZorinOS, tried it and is loving it, and that's all I can ask for. There's nothing else I want. If people make the effort, then the least I can do is respond and encourage them. Chris, please let us know how you get on in the future. It's very important to share your experiences, good or bad. I'm delighted that you're enjoying it, and long may that continue. So that one post there, which you can all read on the video, is absolutely made my year. It's fantastic, because that's one person. I'm going to pin that comment underneath the video. That's one person who's got off the backside and filled the boots, and that's fantastic. Well done you, Chris. Enjoy. Okay, Cybersphere 2024. I would give it a try, but for some reason, after I booted it up, the display was literally black. Oh dear. Well, that could be a hardware compatibility issue. It could also be that you've got a corrupt download of the ISO. So I would heartily recommend, if you do want to give it a go, re-download the ISO and re-burn it to the USB thumb drive. I personally recommend, if you're already on Linux, using something like Balena Etcher, but if you're on Windows, then Rufus should do it just fine. Let us know how you get on, Cybersphere, and thank you very much for posting. Herald, I suppose that's supposed to be like Geralt, isn't it? I'm guessing. Your daily driver is an HP all-in-one running Linux Mint. CPU, Core i5, yeah, 24 gigs of RAM, onboard graphics, so touchscreen, blah blah blah. My just retired Windows 10 box was HP small form factor called to Duo with 8 GB, blah 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 blah. Yep, okay. Card. All right. Well, thank you, Geralt, for posting. I'm not really sure what you're saying. But either of those PCs would be absolutely delightful for something like ZorinOS. If you're already running Linux Mint, then you enjoy the pants out of it. Let us know how you're getting on with it. How do you find it compared to Windows? Again, thank you very much, Geralt, for posting. So Seminar Chauffeur posted, my end goal is to have 2 PCs, a cheap Linux daily driver laptop and a Windows gaming machine. Well, best of luck with that. I hope it works out for you. Again, let us know how you go, especially further down the line with all the shenanigans that's coming from Windows. World War II Rebel. I am patiently waiting for Linux Mint 22 to drop. Well, mildly impressed you'll be, because I've actually got it installed in a virtual box, and I'm going to be having a good look around it. So, good for you. Let us know again how you get on, Rebel. And thank you very much for posting. Alfie Palfie, I love some of these names. Moved to GNU GNU Linux last year. Started with Ubuntu, accidentally broke it, so moved to Arch for my PC and laptop, and Debian for my server, which has worked brilliantly ever since. Good for you, Alfie. Let us know how you get on. Glad you're enjoying your Arch and your Debian. That's fantastic. So, straight away, just reading the first few comments underneath this video, it's crystal clear to me that there's not just the big glob of useless, feckless, and absolutely clueless Windows users, and there's a big glob of seasoned Linux hoes. In between, in the middle, there's ordinary people that are having a go with Linux and enjoying the pants out of it. Of course, depending on your hardware, depends on your experience and how compatible the two things are. I get that. But it's really heartening for me to see all these people not only having a go with Linux, but enjoying it. That's all this channel's about. It's just to say, look, there is a choice. You have a choice. You make it. It's up to you. Yvice? Oh, I've no idea. Don't pay for another OS that will be away in some years. Switch now to BSD or Debian Linux and stick with it for the next decades. Well, it's all about choice, isn't it? And, if you stick with BSD or Debian, that's fine. No problem. Fill your boots. But some people want to support other developers who are putting their heart and soul into an operating system. An awful lot of people don't want to support them financially, and that's fine. Zorin gives you the choice. Absolutely perfect. Jennifer, looks like this OS is almost $50. I don't pay for Linux. Jennifer, you don't have to pay for it. You can use either the ZorinOS Core, which is completely free, or the ZorinOS Lite, which again is completely free. The paid version is there if you want to support the developers with money. You're not forced to. You don't have to. Just want to clear that up, make it crystal. But thank you very much, Jennifer, for posting. I'd love to say that's fair dinkum, but it looks more Dutch. You make no sense. The clueless Windows user won't run into the problems you had on your Windows install. Really? So the clueless, feckless, and absolutely useless Windows user won't suffer from a bloated, sluggish operating system using all their hardware resources. Not sure you're correct there. They also don't know how to install an OS. I give people a little more credit than that. It's so easy to sit here, and I'm guilty of it, I've done it myself, and make assumptions. Assume that people are thick, stupid, ignorant. anybody, even a child, and YouTube is full of young children who have gone and grabbed a Linux ISO, burnt it to a USB thumb drive, and either ran it or installed it on the PC. So if a child can do it, anybody can do it. Many people don't use their PC like you do, and all of the Linux users do, nor do they. This is a really interesting post, thank you for this. Nor do they care what the OS does, as long as it runs the browser properly, which is probably why Linux will stay such a small group of people compared to Windows. Well, if Windows wasn't hell-bent on destroying itself, I would have agreed with you. But I think, you know, once 24H2 hits in August, which is only a couple of weeks away, that update is going to be bad enough. But the second Microsoft Windows introduce a monthly subscription to use their operating system, you watch people flock to Linux then. You know, I know the younger generations are already conditioned into monthly subscriptions for everything. I'm surprised we've not had a monthly subscription to go and take a dump. But nevertheless, it's still a cost of living crisis. People are still struggling like hell financially. And if you've got to pay $10, $15, $20 a month for your operating system, what are you going to do? Are you going to pay that money and run Windows, or are you going to use free and open source Linux? I think the majority of people would run Linux, but again, that's an assumption and an opinion, which could be wrong. But that's the beauty of these comments. It stirs all those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions, and that's why I love you lot so much for posting. And like I say, I'm not after a load of posts that think I'm the best thing since sliced bread and agree with me 100% all of the time. That's of no interest. You post your thoughts, your feelings, and they're all just as valid as mine, and I'll share them with the world. It's as simple as that. If I recall, and Windows dropping old CPUs for newer versions doesn't make people straight up and leave Windows. Nothing will. I disagree. A monthly subscription will, like a mother trucker. But we'll see who's right and who's wrong. But thank you very much for the post. Glasslinger. I like Windows and have no problem using it most of the time. There's always a caveat, isn't there? Yeah. It's application programs that are the problem. I need the compatibility Windows has. Well, what compatibility? Start using open source programs. In my case, they pave my way to Linux. Thank you, Eotley, for that very much. Great post. Glass, if you read this, please, what programs are not compatible with Linux? Please tell us, and we'll see if we can help. Maybe we can't, but we'll do our best. RJS7984, unless you have the money to buy a new computer, yeah? I mean, if you're wealthy or your, financial situation is a good one, then by all means go out, buy the latest and greatest hardware and have access to about 1/10 of it, because Windows is scoff the rest. But thank you very much, RJS, for posting. Steve Johnson, I evicted Windows January the 1st, 2009. That was my New Year's celebration. Thankfully, I don't need commercial applications, though I was on Ubuntu over 14 years. Wow. I'm now transitioning to Debian. I also send newcomers to Debian, as they really perfected installation for version 12. You won't need to upgrade hardware with every release, which can save a lot of money. Absolutely, Steve. Good for you. Let us know how you're getting on with your Debian in the future. And thank you so much for posting. Nebuchadnezzar. Unfortunately, I don't have this choice. Games I play, such as Rust, Battlefield 2042, all which require anti-cheat, will not work in Linux until game. That's not true at all. Never. So not true. There are many ways of getting stuff working. So Rust and Battlefield. I'll see if Rust, Battlefield, Destiny 2, Valorant, Fortnite. I'll see over the coming weeks if I can do videos of those all working beautifully on the Zorin. But don't forget, there's many different ways to kill a cat rather than stuffing its throat with strawberries. So please don't close your mind off, because there are solutions out there. It might not be the solution that you're after or you envisage, but there are solutions, just saying. But thank you very much for posting. Purple Sprigs. Yes, I have used Zorin for a few years now and love it. It is easy, even for a tech idiot like me, to install and use. Hey, Purple, we're all tech idiots. That's fantastic to hear. Enjoy the pants out, you Zorin. I am personally loving it to bits. I hope you continue to love it and enjoy it. Shabir, we switched 3 computers to Linux Mint. So far, I'm very happy with this move. Thank you, Shabir. Thank you for posting, and please let us know your experiences with your Linux Mint and how you're getting on. Much obliged. CTJK1982. Not all users can replace Windows. If people use their computers for things like games, guess what? They can't use an OS like Linux. Not only that, there are people that use Office software that was only designed for Windows and not Linux. Can people start saying, if people are able to, they should think about switching from Windows instead of thinking that every last person on the planet can just get rid of Windows? There's a lot of videos that keep saying you need to stop using Windows today, like Linux is the magic bullet for all computer problems in the world, because there are a lot of people that don't really know much about computers that will try to switch to Linux only to find out that they are even more lost using their computer than before. Yeah, I kind of get the gist of your post, CT. And the person that I'm aiming this channel at, probably very badly, is the ordinary user who doesn't use Microsoft Office, who probably doesn't even play games. You know, they do a bit of online banking, bit of social media, bit of email, bit of online shopping, and that's it, they're done. But if you do what I'm trying to showcase is, if you do gaming, then Zorin's great. If you do use Office, you can use the free Microsoft Office. If your use case is that you must have Microsoft Office 365 and you do Microsoft Excel sheets with SQL database backends, you're not a home user and you're not the target user of this channel. So I don't know what else to say other than there are plenty of people, as we've seen in previous posts, who have made the leap and never look back. There will always be people that make the leap and for whatever reason, and there's a million of them, hate it, and that's fine, because we're all different, we all have different experiences. All I am trying to say is you have choices and options. You don't have to stay with Windows. You just don't have to. But anyway, we'll see how we get on over the coming weeks, months and years. That is a really cool Zorin start screen. I tried almost every Linux, including Zorin, but the easiest Linux in my opinion is Mint. Looks like Zorin is now more sophisticated. I will have to check this out. Thanks. You're very, very welcome, Alan. Very welcome indeed. 231 Pilot. Mint Cinnamon is pretty nice. Thank you very much for that. Yes, it is. It's a fantastic operating system. Mark Fitzgerald, I was a long time Windows user, about 2 years ago, maybe longer. I have tried Ubuntu, Fedora, Mint, Pop! OS and even Arch. I have found the best for Windows users is ZorinOS. Mint is good now on Pop! OS, but Zorin is closest to Windows I have ever seen. Comes with Wine pre-installed so you can run a lot of Windows apps or games. Yep, couldn't agree with you more, Mark. Thank you very much for posting and let us know how you get on with your Zorin. Hey Johan, how you doing? As you know, I started with Peppermint 8 2017. After the passing of Mark Green in 2020, I used Debian-based Peppermint for a while. Debian 11 XFCE, Ubuntu, Kubuntu, KDE Neon, Easy Archer, OpenSUSE KDE, Arca Linux, and currently as a daily driver MX Linux. Well, you're probably on the best of the best there, Johan. But thank you for sharing. And I know you love your Linux, and I know you enjoy doing what you do on your Linux. So thank you so much for posting, and I hope you're safe and well, buddy. Rocky Rab 8290. I'm a Linux missionary also. Been using it for years. I needed a disposably cheap laptop for travel. Bought a $169 Windows student machine with only 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of SSD storage, I'm assuming, of power, and a 2-core processor. Can hardly get more basic. It runs Zorin Core like a scolded cat. I don't run games on it. It's basically a browser and office suite machine. Well, good for you. But that's all most home users do anyway. My daily tower runs Mint. Either one will feel like home to any Windows sufferer. Well, thank you, Rocky. Thank you for posting. I'm glad you love your Linux. Please stay in touch and let us know how you get on in the future. Doran, what do I need to run Guild Wars 2 on Linux? Very simple. Just check out the minimum requirements of Guild Wars 2 hardware-wise on the Guild Wars 2 website. If your computer meets that, then you can run it on the Linux. It's as simple as that. I would heartily recommend you download and install it via Steam. So let's just go to Guild Wars 2. There you go. Just bring it down, install it. Once it's installed, right-click it, left-click Properties, go to Compatibility, put a tick in the box and select Proton Experimental, and you're good to go. If you can't bring it down, then you need to go to Steam, Settings, and go to Compatibility and make sure you enable Steam Play for all other titles. That is off by default. Hence, it won't let you install it out the box. So just put that up, restart Steam, and you'll be good to bring Guild Wars down onto your Linux machine, run it, play it, and enjoy it. And it's that simple. It's not rocket science. Bar End, nice name, love it. Linux is great for home users. Most of us cannot afford a new computer every 3 years, and Linux is a great alternative. You have a variety of desktops to choose from, and they're beautiful. I find it a very logical OS. Yes, you have to learn how to do a few things different, like software installs, but nothing more complicated than getting into a new job. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And you see, this is what I'm trying to do now. We're trying to build up a picture of, what people are. And don't forget, these people are from all over the world. They're of different ages, different ethnicities, different sexes. And it's all kind of diverging, isn't it, into a similar feeling about Linux, one of positivity. And that's fantastic. I love that. Steve, I have a question. Why are you so, well, yeah, I wish. But seriously, why do you try to convince all those hard-headed Windows users that don't want to see the light and use Linux? They always make me laugh. They don't want to learn an OS that's working so well, but rather learn all these programs and tweaks to make their OS stop spot. It's actually very true. I don't know. You'd have to ask the people that, Steve. I don't know the answer. But regards to your statement, thank you. You're too kind, and I'd have to disagree with you and say I'm very average, everyday, run-of-the-mill. Ho-hum. Albakestrel. Ebeez, I love your content. Continue the work. Thank you very, very much indeed. Gaming Penguin Enthusiast. Last time Windows was fun was Windows XP. Since then, it's more and more of Microsoft forcing things on you. Here's somebody who switched on. You don't feel any more like it's your system. That's because it never has been. Just saying. Unlike Linux, you feel like you are using something that does not belong to you. Since I switched to Linux, I regained that sense of control over my computer. And also, just playing with the desktop, it is fun again. I run Windows on my server due to some programs being Windows exclusive, and I don't like to switch that to that computer. I hate that desktop on Windows 11 and don't feel safe or private using that computer. Those are all very, very valid thoughts and posts and concerns. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for Gaming Penguin. So there you go, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've loved it. We'll be doing many, many more. As I post a Linux video up, the next video that I post up will be of your posts and your thoughts. A sincere thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time to post. I hope you're enjoying the content. I'm absolutely loving it. Please rate, comment, subscribe, thumb the videos up if you love them, down if you hate them. I will see you for another wicked Broken Ebeez video.